give you my heart.
Hey guys, welcome to my channel. In today's video, I will be talking about something that I've been wanting to talk about for a while now, but just wasn't quite ready to talk about it. Okay, so July 18th, 2018, I found out that I was pregnant. I didn't think that I was pregnant simply because on the pregnancy test, I only seen one bold line and one like very faint line. So I decided to text my friend and ask her about it. And then she had told me, no, you're not pregnant. But then she said a line's a line. So before telling my boyfriend that I was pregnant, she told me to take a digital one that said pregnant, not pregnant. So I ended up doing that the next morning. So right when I woke up, and when I took the test, it took forever to load. So after it finally loaded, I seen pregnant. I didn't know how to feel. I didn't know how to react to it. It was like a complete surprise. Right after I took the test, I went into the room and I told my boyfriend. I showed it to him. I showed him all 3 pregnancy tests that I took. So after I told him, we decided to wait until after our first ultrasound to let everybody else know as they're preparing the stuff to get the ultrasound going, you know. She puts the gel on my stomach and she starts, looking for the baby, but we see that she doesn't turn on the little monitor. So my boyfriend asks the ultrasound technician, like, oh, there's only one baby, right? And as he's asking her that, she looks up and she says, nope, there's 2. So as soon as she said that there was 2, she turned on the monitor and sure enough, there was 2 babies. We were gonna be having twins. We were both like in complete shock because we did not expect that, like, whatsoever. At least we didn't expect it to happen, like, to us, because twins does run in his family and his mom. After we get our ultrasound done, if we get all of our ultrasound pictures and stuff, and then we get to talking about it, like, oh my god, like, that's so crazy, like, you got the twins, like, oh my gosh. Like, at that point, I was a little excited because not only was I gonna have 1 baby, but 2. So that day, like, we decided to tell everybody. He had called into work. We went to the store, excuse me, and bought things so we can do like the pregnancy announcement and stuff. The person we told was his mom, and his brother was there as well. Nobody felt left out that we didn't tell them the same day that like we did everybody else. So we ended up going over to my mom's and we told her, and she started crying and she's like, oh my god, what are you gonna do? Like, there's 2. I'm like, well, have them. Like, what else am I gonna do? Then after that, I ended up going over to my friend's house, and then I ended up showing her the ultrasound. She's like, I knew it was gonna be twins. Oh my god. I ended up going over to my cousin's house and telling telling her and her mom, and like they were just both jumping up and down with excitement. She's like, I was having dreams for the past weeks that somebody was pregnant with twins and it comes out to be you. After that, I had 1 more person to tell, and it was my sister. So I told her that after work to meet us up at Applebee's. So that's what she did. So how I told her was I just took out 1 ultrasound picture of 1 baby, and she's like, wait, you're pregnant? And I'm like, yeah. And then I tell her, wait, that's not the ultrasound that I needed to give you. It's this ultrasound that had both the babies on there. She's like, wait, what? You're having twins? I told her, yes, I'm having twins. She's like, no, you're lying. I'm like, no, I'm not. I just went today and took the ultrasound done. We're having twins. And then after that, we told everybody who we had to tell. And then my sister was like, okay, like, I want to be the one to find out the genders. I'm like, okay, like that's fine. So we ended up planning like this gender reveal, and you know it was all big and nice. And so we had a gender reveal, and we found out that we were gonna have a boy and a girl, and I was so excited because that's what I wanted, a boy and a girl. Okay, so fast forward to 2 weeks after the gender reveal. It was, well, not exactly 2 weeks, but almost like a week and a half. It was on Wednesday, September 26, 2018, that I noticed that I was spotting. But I didn't think anything of it, because sometimes they say that spotting in pregnancy is normal. Spotting really wasn't consistent. It would go away. But then the following day, Thursday, I had still some spotting, but like I said, it would go away. So then I decided that if Friday morning, if I wake up and I'm still spotting, I would go into the ER to see like what was going on. So I woke up Friday morning, and yep, I was still spotting. So I showered. I ended up going into the ER, and I told them like what was going on. So at this point, I was already exactly 16 weeks pregnant. So they get me into a room, and then like an hour later they tell me like, oh, it's a UTI. So they ended up giving me a pill for a UTI, but then they said that they still wanted to do an ultrasound just to make sure everything was okay. So they ended up doing the ultrasound, and shortly after the doctor came back, and that's when he told me that it looked like I was in the start of a miscarriage. At this point, like, I couldn't believe what he was saying. So, right after they gave me the news that I was in the start of a miscarriage, I ended up calling my mom, my sister, my boyfriend, you know, to let them know what was going on. Ultrasound, they wanted to do a vaginal ultrasound, so they ended up moving me to a different room to do a vaginal ultrasound. So as they're doing the vaginal ultrasound, they can tell that I'm already starting to contract. I was already dilated 1 centimeter, and that's when they noticed that instead of me having a long cervix, I actually had a short cervix. And as they were doing the vaginal ultrasound, they would have me push to see if like it would like open up more, or we would just stay the same, and as I was pushing it would like expand, so open up more. So after that ultrasound, they took me up to labor and delivery, and they put me in a room. They had me, you know, get undressed, put my gown on and stuff, because they were going to stick in a catheter so they can take urine straight from my bladder to see if I actually had a UTI. And after they did that, my doctor comes in, and she tells me that she's gonna try to do everything that she can, you know, to not have me go into labor. So then after talking to the doctor, she tells me that my results had came back from my urine test, that I didn't have a UTI. So I started planning on what they were going to do to try to not have me go into labor. I don't really remember what exactly the plan was. Because it happened like a little bit ago. After talking to my doctor, after talking to my doctor, they moved me to a different room. So I was in that room. I wanna say that I was in that room for about 8 hours. My mom was there with me. My boyfriend was there with me. His mom was there. It was like 9 something at night when my mom and my mom's boyfriend had left. And literally, like, not even 5 minutes later, after they had left, my water breaks. So my boyfriend ends up calling his mom and my mom, telling them like, hey, you know, you guys need to come back. Selena's water broke. So he also ends up calling the nurse, you know, and telling them, hey, like, her water broke. So here they are, the nurse is rushing to move me from the bed and moving me to labor and delivery. And then that's when like the doctor comes in, like, okay, so she ends up sticking these little pills in me so I can dilate faster. I ended up dilating up to 4.5 centimeters. Sorry guys, my camera died, so I had to switch over to my phone. But like I was saying, but before I reached 4.5 centimeters, she had me push at like, I want to say like 2.5 centimeters, and the first baby that was coming out was my boy. But as I was pushing, she was trying to like pull him out, and I just looked up at her like, can you like not do that? So she seen that he wasn't coming out, so she decided to stop and wait a little longer for me to dilate more so I could start pushing again. So at this point in the delivery room was my mom, my sister, his mom, his brother, and his brother's wife, who is my friend. So she asked the doctor if it was possible to stitch me back up, you know, because the other baby was still okay. And the doctor has said no, because in a couple weeks I would end up going into labor again. So then after that, his brother and his wife end up leaving. Everybody else is still there. So I want to say like around 3 something in the morning, I had my baby boy, and then an hour after that I had my baby girl. I did get to hold them. They were so small. They had asked me if I wanted to name them, and I said no, because we only had a name for the boy and not for the girl, and I wasn't just gonna stick any name on her, so we decided not to name either of them. Sorry guys, I forgot to also mention this, but another reason why they had me go into labor, as they were doing the ultrasound, they seen that my baby boy was already detached from the uterus. So after they had moved me to the recovery room, the chapel came in and asked if we were gonna want to organize our own funeral or if we wanted the hospital to take care of it. So we decided that we wanted the hospital to take care of it. So they did have a funeral for them. They were in a little box along with other little babies that were the same amount of weeks that they, and I made sure that they were together, that they weren't separated, that they were right next to each other. Not a day goes by that I don't think about them, because they are a part of me and they will forever be a part of me. They are my babies, so to this day, no matter how ready I am to talk about it, I still get very emotional, simply because it was my first pregnancy. I was so excited to have them, and at that, twins, you know. But this is where I will be ending today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.